everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you. Omega level commanders, the top of the tippity top of power level, under $1. 10 commanders that should not be this cheap though with the amount of power that they have. Of course, there's a card list link in the description below. Let's jump into them. First up, one that has always shocked me with how cheap it is, Kykar Wind's Fury. Just 35 cents for this gem, a 3/3 bird wizard with flying for 4 mana in Jeskai. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying, sacrifice a spirit, add red. Here's the thing, this is a commander that can go in so many different directions. Most go Spellslinger, and it's a very powerful Spellslinger commander. There's also some combo-y directions you can go, but basically when you're casting spells, you're kind of creating mini rituals while also creating an army, which is absolutely crazy. And also, I mean, just even try out my build on just Anthems. Like, go check out my Kykar Anthems build. It is so fun. All you need to do literally is just chuck a bunch of Anthems into a Kykar deck, and you're like, okay, I cast an Anthem. Cool, yeah, just an enchantment that pumps my army +1/+1. Oh, okay, I've got all these other Anthems in play. Awesome. I just made a 6/6 Flying Spirit. Yeah, to go along with my giant army of Flying Spirits. Oh, maybe I'll cast like an Opt as well. Okay, cool, I'll draw a card. Oh, and make another 6/6 Flying Spirit. You can dominate the board in absolutely no time. Again, even in a build that's as focused as that just on Anthems, you can do some absolutely crazy things with this one. It is such a powerhouse, such an Omega level commander. Check it out, pick it up. Let's stay with birds, but birds for a very different reason with Teshar, Ancestor's Apostle, a 2/2 bird cleric with flying for 4 mana in white. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is just 19 cents. And again, this is probably more of like an actual like, hey, you know what? Assumed, you know, weak command, or like, oh, it's uncommon. I think Teshar actually used to be rare and it got downgraded to uncommon. Oh, it's just 19 cents. Oh, it's in mono white. Oh, it can't be that good. No, this is Omega level. This is a commander that absolutely can do some absolutely disgusting things. Again, when it comes to casting historic spells, yeah, that does count, you know, legendaries and sagas. Cool. The important thing there is artifacts, and that is the broken thing. Artifacts are perhaps the most broken thing in Magic. And being able to just bring back creatures with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard back to the battlefield, directly to the battlefield again and again and again, yeah, there are a ton, an insane amount of combos. I mean, just go on Commander Spellbook and type in Teshar and just see all the combos that you can do with this one. It's crazy powerful. And again, players underestimate mono white decks. Players underestimate uncommon commanders, even though technically it was rare at one point. But if you pull up to the table with this and they're looking like, oh, okay, a bird cleric, it's uncommon. Wow. You're like, yeah, don't worry about it. And all of a sudden you're like, boom, I win. I mean, obviously play with the right player group, that's okay with combos, but still, it is one that can absolutely dominate. Check out this Omega level commander. Okay, one that you probably can't get away with as much, obviously, compared to, well, Teshar, is Tatyova Benthic Druid. Now, this one is just 7 cents because they keep reprinting it. A 3/3 Merfolk Druid for 5 mana in Simic. It's got landfall whenever a land enters the battlefield to control. You gain 1 life and draw a card. This is kind of the first, in my opinion, like, uncommon commander that really broke the mold when it came to, like, power level. Because, like, hey, they didn't make that many uncommon commanders number 1 back then. They finally did, and they're like, oh, yeah. They can actually be good. It's not just like, okay, copy paste another one that's the rare and make it worse. Yay! And they've done that. They have done that. And they still do that sometimes too. But this is one that essentially was like, you know what? No, actually, we're going to make a powerful commander. Yeah, the life gain is nice. There's things that you can do with that, obviously. It's a nice just way to pad your life total. But land, enter, draw a card is crazy powerful, insanely powerful. I mean, like an Evolving Wilds draws you 2 cards. It's absolutely crazy. And of course, we're getting more and more fetch lands these days, more and more budget fetch lands, which is amazing. You've got so many ways to ramp, so many ways to get lands into play, ways to, you know, bounce lands essentially. You got so many different ways to get so many lands into play to draw so many cards. Yeah, this can absolutely just keep your hand chock full. There's also a ton of other great landfall triggers these days. There's so many powerful things that you can do with this one. And yeah, pad your life total while you're doing it. And also, again, yeah, I mean, you can show up to the table and be like, yeah, it's just an uncommon commander, don't worry about it. And they're going to be like, yeah, no, I know what Tatyova does. It's powerful. It's definitely Omega level. It's just 7 cents. Pick it up, build around it. Okay, next up, another landfall commander, but in a very different way. The Necrobloom. 28 cents for this crazy commander. 2/7 plant for 4 mana in Abzan. Whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. And by the way, land cards in your graveyard have dredge too. Now, first of all, having land cards in your graveyard have dredge too is just a combo enabler essentially for you in a way. I mean, go get Rog, throw it in the deck, and there you go. I mean, you also need like discard out. You got ways to do crazy powerful things with that, and that is a nice addition, and also a way to just keep getting lands back when you need them. That being said, just at a base level being like, yeah, hey, landfall, make a ton of creatures. I can either go plants or I could just go into like zombie tribal too. In combination with the combo aspect of this commander, it's crazy, crazy, crazy powerful. This could have been a very popular commander if it went either of those two directions, essentially, with either of those two effects on it. They gave it both. So this is one that gives you a ton of powerful colors in combination with what you want to do with this. Again, token strategy meets landfall, meets combo, meets tutoring. I mean, tutoring for all the things that you need because you're in black. But yeah, being able to do some crazy powerful things. Also, you can go anthems if you really want to as well. It is such a fun and powerful Omega level, very budget friendly commander that can absolutely dominate a table. Next up, one that definitely did not used to be budget friendly, but now it's just 40 cents. Yarok the Desecrated, 3/5 elemental for 5 mana and Sultai, Death Touch, Lifelink. If a permanent entering causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers additional time. Yeah, doubling things up is insanely good. It's insanely powerful. It's insanely fun. It is one that says, hey, you know what? Well, every single set that comes out, we're getting more and more support, essentially, for this, which is absolutely crazy because Wizards loves their ETBs. And this one essentially is going like, hey, you know what we're going to do? Well, we can go in a bunch of different directions with this. You can go with, like, I mean, you can go landfall doubling if you really want to. In fact, that's a very powerful approach to this. But being able to essentially go in a lot of different directions, doubling up all your value, and just giving you so much room to grow with this deck, it is a commander that is most definitely Omega level. It's going to stay Omega level because, well, ETBs are always going to be a thing, essentially, that Wizards is printing. And it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and doing absolutely crazy things. Make sure you check out my deck tech on this one. Yeah, it can get absolutely crazy. I mean, like, Springloom Druid entering the battlefield, you sacrifice a land, you get more lands into play, you landfall everywhere, and you just double all that up too. You get some crazy, crazy powerful turns and crazy powerful board states with a commander like this. Definitely Omega level and definitely budget friendly. 40 cents only. Moving on, though, let's go back to Uncommon, and one that, again, players that don't know, well, aren't going to know until it's too late, that Hamza, Guardian of Arashin is so incredibly powerful. I mean, again, it's got a lot of things going against it when it comes to players evaluating it properly at the table if they haven't really seen it before. Okay, it's a 5/5 for 6 mana. It's an Elephant Warrior. Oh, big whoop. Okay, what is it doing? All right. It's in Selesnya. Okay, now, you know, are you going like tokens? You know, I guess that's like what Selesnya does, right? You know, life gain maybe? No. We're going insane value when it comes to mana reduction because this spell's going to cost 1 less cast for each creature you hold a counter on it. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less cast for each creature you hold a counter on it. This is, well, again, a commander that costs little itself, essentially. It's very easy to set up for this to cost basically nothing. And essentially, if it gets dealt with, you can recast it for maybe even just 2 mana if your board state is still intact, essentially. And of course, it makes it so that all your creature spells reduce a ton, again, to basically nothing, or even just actually nothing itself. Again, if you've got a bunch of artifact creatures, colorless creatures, and they have, you know, a generic mana cost with no other pips, you're like, oh yeah, oh cool, hey, I'm playing you for free. It's very easy, of course, this color combination as well to, even if creatures don't inherently come into play with counters on them, and you can build a deck that's just like, oh, my creatures get counters when they come into play. Cool, good for you. But you can just essentially go like, okay, I get my creatures in play for free because they're like artifacty creatures or colorless creatures, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I play one thing that like gives them all counters, or I already have something in play that gives them a counter when they come into play. And then all of a sudden it reduces costs further and further and further. And of course, there is a combo-y aspect of it as well. Ancestral Statue, just infinitely, just ETB, LTB, again and again and again and again and again. Very easy to set up. Yeah, this is a commander that absolutely can dominate a table. It is such a powerful Omega-level commander that, again, does not get the attention that it deserves. Because, again, it's like, oh, it's a 5/5 for 6. So like, oh, wow, it's an Elephant Warrior. It's uncommon. Like, how good can that be? Incredibly powerful. Next up, Muldrotha the Gravetide. Yeah, Muldrotha has been around for such a long time in, well, Commander lore, basically, when it comes to how Commander, again, was, a growing format, and then I feel like Muldrotha kind of came along around that time, and that's when really Commander really took off. Not because of Muldrotha itself, though Muldrotha was, again, a big driver for a lot of decks out there, and kind of the establishment of Sultai as, well, kind of the boogeyman of 3 colors in some ways. A 6/6 elemental avatar for 6 mana in Sultai. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each permanent type from your graveyard. Again, all value all the time. Your graveyard is a second hand. It's an extension of your hand. It is value centric. It is so much insane value. You're able to go, hey, you know what? I'm playing another thing out of my graveyard. Oh, another thing. You don't even have to play it to your hand at a certain point. Yes, you have to like pick and choose which kind of things you're going to be playing because it's like of a different permanent, type each time on your turn. That being said, there's ways to reset that too, so do keep that in mind. But of course, you are able to utilize and use and abuse ETBs, LTBs, sacrifice triggers by just getting things back again and again and again and again and again. It is such a powerful commander, again, one that definitely didn't used to be as budget friendly as it is. 56 cents right now, definitely Omega level. Moving on, one that Wizards did limit ever so slightly, but in my opinion, not enough when it comes to, well, the power level threshold of what it can do very obviously, the Jolly Balloon Man. A name that you might not take seriously, but a card that you definitely should, and one that is most definitely Omega level. A 1/4 Human Clown with haste for 3 mana in Boros. Pay 1, tap, create a token's copy of another target creature you control, except a 1/1 red balloon creature, issue to other colors and types, has flying and haste, sacrifice being next end step, activate only as a sorcery. Well, this is one essentially where you're going like, okay, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a copy of another creature. Sure, it's just a 1/1, I've got a sacrifice, got flying and haste. Yeah, I mean, the point necessarily isn't like, okay, I make a tiny little creature that has flying and haste, and cool, I guess I can swing with it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're getting attack triggers and getting triggers off that, great. But this is a combo machine, a combo engine that is very, very easy to utilize. It is one essentially where you're going like, okay, maybe I've got like a mass untapper, like a Village Bellringer, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, I do have to pay 1 mana, and that's where Wizards did limit it ever so slightly. You need a bit more setup to go infinite with this. Not much, though. Literally, if you have, like, some Mandorks in play, and then, like, a Village Bellringer, you're like, okay, I win. I get infinite mana, all these things, cool, good for me. Yeah, you can just very easily win with a commander like this. Again, the setup is very minimal. The setup is, well, you can go in a couple different directions, essentially, to go with it, but basically it is one that gives you so much extra value, so cheaply, so easily. Yeah, you can do some absolutely crazy things with this one when it comes to using and abusing ETBs. Moving on, Satoru Umezawa, a 2/4 human ninja for 3 mana in Dimir. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. In any order, I should say. And this ability triggers only once each turn. By the way, each creature card in your hand has ninjutsu for 4 mana. Yeah, I mean, without having that, this card would be like, oh, cool, like an interesting, like, very ninja-specific commander. Instead, it's like, oh, go chuck all the giant creatures into a deck around this. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, yeah, put some small, evasive creatures in your deck. Put some absolutely massive creatures. Oh, in like turn 3, turn 4, all of a sudden you just have the most massive creature coming out and just smacking an opponent in the face and maybe even just taking them out basically then and there from the game. It's an absolutely crazy commander that, again, gives you value while you're doing that too. Again, not only are you cheating things into play basically for very cheap and being able to hit your opponents, you're also like, oh yeah, let me just get more cards off the top of my library and just curate my hand at the exact same time. So much value, so cheap again at 45 cents. Pick it up, build around it. And finally, perhaps the least obvious of the Omega level commanders, Grumgully the Generous, because, again, if you're maybe a newer player, a player who just doesn't know about Grumgully and you just see this one, I mean, it's a derpy looking commander, right? It's like, hey, who's this, weird goblin shaman dude? Okay, cool. Anyways, 3/3 for 3 mana in Gruul. And again, when it comes to Gruul, people expect like, okay, very aggressive, very large creatures, burn and aid, smack. This is more so like, you know what, no, let's just grow things, okay? Each other non-human creature you control enters additional counter on it. And you might think like, okay, that's just one line of text against an uncommon commander. It's a derpy-looking goblin shaman. Yeah, but it's incredibly powerful. This is one that essentially says, hey, you know what I do? I can just utilize persist creatures very, very simply, very, very easily. Whenever you have any kind of a card, especially commanders, that are like, hey, you come into play with a counter on you, your mind should immediately go, warning bells going off if I'm playing against that. Persist creatures are broken with this. Because essentially with this one, you're going to be going, yeah, let's just get a sacrifice out like Goblin of Bombardment or whatnot, essentially, and just get that persist creature to loop again and again and again. Because, well, back in the day, this wasn't the case where, like, you know, you had counters ++1 and -1, both could be on a creature at the exact same time. Yeah, at some point that shifted, and they cancel each other out, so now persist creature just goes, okay, I died, I come back. Okay, here's my -1/-1 counter. Oh, but Grumgully's like, you also get a +1 counter. Okay, cool. Oh, those go away? Oh, and then I'm at the exact same spot. So you can keep sacrificing them again and again and again. Obviously, you've got creature tutors in green. You got some crazy things you can do with this one. It is one where, again, players do underestimate it. There's other ways to go other than combo, but still, being able to go absolutely ham with a combo deck around this one, it is most definitely Omega level. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.